Hi, my name is Cara Cerullo, and I am one of the counselors here at Western Illinois University.
Hi, I'm Christy Reynolds, and I'm also one of the mental health therapists here at Western Illinois University.
And today our virtual outreach is going to be on gratitude. And gratitude has proven biological, psychological, and social benefits. Simple changes in your everyday practice of gratitude, with some of the homework suggestions we're going to give later, will likely decrease your stress, it'll improve your sleep, improve productivity, and improve your relationships. There are lots of studies out there, a lot of research done to show that gratitude actually has a positive impact on the feel-good neurotransmitters. So it increases dopamine and serotonin levels. It also has been proven to decrease the stress hormone cortisol. And in so doing, it's going to reduce our anxiety and have long-term health benefits and consequences associated with it. You don't need to read the studies and do the research to notice the impact. All you need to do is practice some of the tips and tricks that we're going to share with you today and see what changes in your life. See if you notice an improvement in, your overall physical health, but also in your emotional health and well-being. And Christy's going to share some information on how you can change everyday phrases to practice gratitude and notice an impact on yourself, but also how that might impact others.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to start with, Cara, was that it's not just about how it's going to have us feeling, but it's also going to change the way the other person responds, or the way the other person even kind of checks their own emotion in regards to the way you decide to phrase your statements. And it's easier if I just show you or let you know an example. So, for example, when you keep somebody waiting for a long time, or maybe you're late to an appointment. And I know I've been late to appointments. Cara always runs early, so she's never late. But I can tell you that I'm late quite often. And so if you ever notice when you walk in somewhere, what's your first response, right? You quickly want to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I was late. I'm sorry that my car broke down. I'm sorry that I was late to catch the bus. I'm sorry that there was a hurt, wounded animal on the side of the road that I decided to pick up and nurse and take to the animal shelter before I came in here, right? And so you're apologizing for all this. What really, when you think about it, is what are you sorry for, right? I mean, a lot of times it's life. Things are out of our control, right? And so when we say sorry, I get this feeling of almost like guilt. And when you apologize to somebody else, if you notice, it's usually one of those things like, yeah, you did do something wrong, didn't you? Right? So instead, try changing that, right? If you're walking in late somewhere, thank you for waiting. Thank you so much for being patient, right? Thank you for, holding on to my appointment when I'm walking in 5 minutes late, and so showing gratitude in that way will not only change the way you feel, but it can also change the perspective of the situation, right? And so there's other areas that I find that a lot of people do this with. So what else? Oh, I find that people who don't usually share emotions or tend to share their feelings a lot, they feel bad about it afterwards. I'm so sorry I took all of your time. I'm sorry that I unloaded on you. I'm sorry, right? But if we are talking to somebody, especially a friend, did we do something wrong by sharing with them our emotions, by sharing with them our issues or our concerns of the day? Or let's really look at that situation and step back and say, or did they do something kind for us? And is it really about us wanting to thank them for doing something kind for us, right? Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for, giving me a ride. Thank you for, this is what relationships and good, healthy friendships are there for, is for helping each other out. So I really do think it changes the perspective that they have, that you have, and of the situation. And the beautiful thing about this is that it's not just about person-to-person relationships either. I've worked with some clients that are going to go into HR, some clients that are going to go into maybe business or sales, and they want to be able to communicate better. And Something that I always encourage, especially if they're going to be having customers, try thanking them. Try thanking them thank you for waiting when I put you on hold for 20 minutes. Thank you for being patient when that shipment came in late. Thank you for understanding when you bought an item. So it's not just about personal relationships. This can be something that you can use even later on after you're a graduate of Western Illinois University that you can take with you. One of the other things that I would say is, there are ways that we can reframe our sentences instead of apologizing to, thanking them. But also, what about just a good old-fashioned thank you, right? Just when somebody compliments you, thank you. I like to say, thank you, period, right? When I talk to my clients, that's all you need to say. Thank you, period. You don't have to say a but. You don't have to, what do you call it, Cara? When you give it back to somebody else, thank you. You also look nice. Thank you. So
a redirection or shifting the focus so you don't accept the compliment.
Exactly. So there's a lot of ways to practice gratitude.
And I think as you start to make some of those small shifts, you'll also notice the shift in how you feel after making that change. I think one of the things to remember is that we don't actually have to share our gratitude in order to benefit from it, although that's really nice.
And it's just one example, right? Cara's right. This is one example of something that you can take with you and practice, right? Because that's something you can do out loud. But no, Cara, that's absolutely right. What are other ways that we can practice gratitude without even having to say it out loud?
Something as simple as doing a daily gratitude journal, and that could be done in the morning or at the end of your day, where you write down 3 simple things that you're grateful for from the day. And it doesn't have to be some grand thing that you're grateful for. One of the things that I've written in my own personal gratitude journal is for seeing a cardinal, a bright red bird, and a dark green tree, or on a rainy day. Just expressing gratitude for the small things that are around us. Another thing that you could do to practice or exercise gratitude is to write a letter of thanks or gratitude to someone. But again, you don't even have to send it to that person in order to practice gratitude and to reap the rewards from it.
One of the things that Cara and I used to do when we trained, there were quite a few years where we were training for marathons or half marathons or who knows what. So there's a lot of hours of running out there. And some of the things that we would, talk about was maybe what others didn't have. And so during a run, some of the things that we would reflect on are incredibly basic, but very powerful. I'm grateful that I have the lung capacity to run for X amount of hours, right? I'm grateful that my legs, I've not been injured, or I haven't, that they're still working, that I'm able to move them, that I'm able to go, because it can start that basic, right? Because that is something that we can be grateful for. And so, or even saying, I'm grateful for the time that we have 2 hours to go run around town like, I'm going to say crazy people because I'm not running marathons anymore. So those days were crazy, but right. So you can find gratitude anywhere.
And I think one of the things that we want to recognize is that it's not always easy. And maybe we're oversimplifying this a bit, because maybe you're in a current difficult stage in your life. Maybe, you are experiencing high stress.
What about if they're in a pandemic?
Exactly. Since we're all in this together, this has been one of the most difficult years probably of my life, because, we're in a situation in which we might be more isolated from others, where we might have more uncertainty or insecurity in our particular job. We don't have the same opportunity to go out and do the things that we enjoy to the same capacity. One of the things I love to do is travel, and that's really off the table this year in order to protect myself and the ones that I love. And so how do we practice gratitude in times of stress, when maybe it's harder to find it? So a personal example for me is, what I've noticed is that I have experienced grief associated with the loss of traveling opportunities, loss of in-person social connectedness. But what has come immediately following that grief is the insight of what I have had and the gratitude I have for those experiences. So I have kind of learned how to flip that, or carry space for both the grief and the gratitude for the opportunities I've had. And a really good way of doing that is like thinking back to, okay, I'm really grateful for this memory made with my loved ones, and to really emphasize that and to practice gratitude for that, and to solidify that memory, is to think about what do I remember seeing? What do I remember feeling? What did I smell? Were there any specific tastes in that? And so to really emphasize that moment that I'm gracious for. Other things that you may think about in regards to stress is just living in an unhealthy or chaotic home environment. We understand that some people don't have space that they feel safe in during this time. And so maybe it's exercising gratitude to someone that is able to support you when you're in an environment that is less healthy for you. And so maybe that's when you write a letter of support to an individual that has given you support and help in the past.
And that person can be just you.
Mm-hmm.
You can write to yourself.
Yep.
Right? Thank you for the strength that you give me. Thank you for the determination that you've had to continue on with going to school while in the midst of also going through, family turmoil or whatever it is that you could be going through.
Yeah, gratitude for the skills gained and the resiliency gained in those stressful situations. And
I think that it is important to stress in any of our videos that we do, anytime we talk about, whether it's gratitude or boundaries or assertiveness or, whatever it is that we're talking about, none of it is easy. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad she said, it sounds simple, because a lot of this does sound simple, but it requires a whole lot of commitment and a whole lot of practice. And so a lot of times, that's why I consider us, and I know a lot of the counselors here do, we're facilitators. We don't tell you how to live your life, nor can we do it for you. So really the work is on you. It's a lot of work, and so we're here just to kind of guide you through that and to be able to help you put it into practice. But that's the hard work right there, is to try to take all of this that we talk about and to incorporate it into your daily living.
And we hope that this, brief discussion on gratitude will increase some energy to put towards gratitude and practice of gratitude. And again, we gave you multiple examples through our discussion today on how you can do that. So I hope you choose just one of those small things to take with you and start to practice that in your everyday life, and notice the positive changes that come with it. So we appreciate you again taking the time to listen and to join us today. And if you'd like additional assistance and support and exercising gratitude, don't hesitate to reach out to the Counseling Center and make an appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you.